The violent political rhetoric from the President of the United States reached another level today when Donald Trump used his social media platform to accuse a group of Democratic lawmakers of seditious behavior at the highest level, punishable by death. This event, which immediately drew intense condemnation and prompted direct threats to the safety of elected officials, lays bare the escalating normalization of violent language within the highest office in the land. The controversy originated with a 90-second video featuring 6 Democratic members of Congress, all distinguished veterans or former intelligence professionals, including Senators Elissa Slotkin and Mark Kelly, and Representatives Jason Crow, Chris Deluzio, Maggie Goodlander, and Chrissy Howlahan. The video served as a reminder to U.S. service members of their lifelong oath to the Constitution. The lawmakers plainly stated, "Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders. You must refuse illegal orders," arguing that the threats to the Constitution now originate right here at home. The restatement of fundamental military law, the explicit requirement that service members must refuse orders that violate the law or the Constitution, was perceived by Donald Trump as an attack on his authoritarian regime.
I'm Senator Elissa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris Deluzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Howlahan.
Congressman Jason Crow.
I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
And the intelligence community.
Who take risks each day
To keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
And intelligence community professionals
against American citizens.
like us. You all swore an oath.
To protect and defend this Constitution.
And right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad.
But from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
Or our Constitution.
We know this is hard.
And that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
In the Army.
Our Navy.
The Air Force.
Your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
the American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws,
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
don't give up.
don't give up the ship.
He responded to the video with a furious barrage of posts on Truth Social, escalating the political disagreement into a criminal and existential threat. He declared the lawmakers' actions to be a crime that warranted the gravest penalty. He demanded that each one of the traitors to our country be arrested and put on trial. Beyond his own inflammatory words, he further amplified the threat by sharing posts from users who openly called for the Democrats to be removed from office, arrested, or killed. One user's statement, reposted by the president, chillingly read, "Hang them, George Washington would." This rhetorical leap from political disagreement to explicit calls for the execution of sitting members of Congress crystallizes fears about the normalization of violence in American politics. As Democratic Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer observed, "Let's be crystal clear. The President of the United States is calling for the execution of elected officials. This is an outright threat." The response from Democratic leadership was swift and focused on safety. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries, Whip Catherine Clark, and Caucus Chair Pete Aguilar issued a joint statement that unequivocally condemned the president's disgusting and dangerous death threats.
It's extraordinary to me. We had patriotic members of the House and the Senate have their lives threatened by Donald Trump in the most unhinged, unacceptable, unconscionable, and un-American way. Disgusting and dangerous what Donald Trump has said in accusing patriotic members of Congress and the Senate who served this country well of treason and suggesting they should be killed. That's disgusting.
They called on House Republicans to forcefully do the same and confirmed they had contacted the House Sergeant-at-Arms and the United States Capitol Police to ensure the safety of the targeted members and their families. The statement concluded with a direct challenge. Donald Trump must immediately delete these unhinged social media posts and recant his violent rhetoric before he gets someone killed. The lawmakers featured in the video stood firm, asserting that their oath to the Constitution is a sacred, lifelong obligation that no threat or intimidation would deter. They highlighted the extraordinary nature of Trump's reaction, stating, "What's most telling is that the president considers it punishable by death for us to restate the law." The escalating rhetoric forced a rare clarification from the White House. During a press conference, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was asked point-blank, does the president want to execute members of Congress? She offered a blunt no. Leavitt then attempted to shift the focus back onto the Democrats' video, gaslighting about the members of Congress that had conspired to encourage active duty service members to defy the president's lawful orders. She suggested that such a radical message could inspire chaos and incite violence, thus disrupting the chain of command, an implied justification for the severity of the president's reaction, though she offered no explanation for his unhinged and explicit threats of violence.
Nancy. Thanks, Caroline. This morning, President Trump accused 6 Democratic lawmakers of seditious behavior punishable by death. Just to be clear, does the president want to execute members of Congress?
No. Let's be clear about what the president is responding to, because many in this room want to talk about the president's response, but not what brought the president to responding in this way. You have sitting members of the United States Congress who conspired together to orchestrate a video message to members of the United States military, to active duty service members, to members of the national security apparatus, encouraging them to defy the president's lawful orders.
Isn't that exactly what the president is doing when he says that members of Congress should be killed?
Why aren't you talking about what these members of Congress are doing to encourage and incite violence?
While Democratic figures expressed moral outrage, the Republican response was either muted or openly supportive of Trump's underlying claim. House Speaker Mike Johnson defended Trump's accusation of sedition, calling the Democrats' video wildly inappropriate and unprecedented. Johnson suggested that the president was merely defining the crime of sedition, essentially validating the gravity of Trump's accusation while sidestepping the calls for execution. This split illustrates a growing fissure within the political establishment, where one side views the call for political execution as an unconscionable assault on democracy, while the other treats it as an excusable rhetorical flourish in response to perceived disloyalty. The incident underscores a critical erosion of institutional norms, demonstrating the extent to which the political environment has become dangerously polarized, where even the explicit requirement for military personnel to follow only lawful orders is twisted into an act of treason punishable by death. The willingness of high-ranking political figures to flirt with and in some cases endorse rhetoric that encourages political violence represents a serious threat to the stability and safety of the American democratic process. Of course, Donald Trump has already crossed a line regarding illegal military orders. 6 months prior to the U.S. military commencing approximately 20 lethal strikes against suspected narco-trafficking vessels in international waters, which has killed over 75 people, then acting Deputy Attorney General Emil Bove signaled a dramatic policy shift by telling top drug prosecutors the administration was interested in ending maritime interdictions in favor of simply sinking the boats. This move represented a profound departure from decades of U.S. policy focused on seizing drugs, detaining crew, and prosecution, prompting current and former U.S. officials to question the legality, effectiveness, and morality of the deadly strikes, which some referred to as murder conducted without due process. Officials expressed frustration that the regime was abandoning proven methods for arresting, detaining, and charging suspected drug runners. The Trump regime has offered no public evidence that the targeted boats were carrying illicit drugs. The International Criminal Court has criticized the sinking of these suspected drug vessels, raising questions about whether the deadly strikes constitute potential war crimes due to the intentional killing of individuals without due process. I'm Anthony Davis. You can find me on the 5 Minute News YouTube channel and podcast, on Wednesdays co-hosting Uncovered, and on Sunday on The Weekend Show with MeidasTouch.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.